The wait is finally over and the 2017 season is already underway. The World Tour calendar will kick into gear with the Tour Down Under. As ever, the 6-day race will be a mixture of those riders who are well bedded into the new season and those who are only getting going. The top 3 from last year's race will be back in action, as will a host of other big names. Here are just a few of those in Cycling News' 5 riders to watch for the Tour Down Under. Nobody has more Tour Down Under titles than Simon Gerrans, and last year's champion is back to add to his tally. Despite having won 4 titles, the Australian has never gone on to defend it. In fact, no rider has managed to retain their title since the race began in 1999. Standing in the way of Gerrans and a second consecutive victory will again be Wollonga Hill, where he'll have to dig deep to minimise his losses against the climbers. However, he'll have the very capable assistance of Esteban Chavez, who will make his Australian debut. Richie Porte will be hoping to push Gerrans all the way. Porte's been knocking on the door of the Tour Down Under title in recent years, finishing second in the last 2 editions. Following his season-ending injury at the Olympic Games last August, Porte decided to skip the National Championships and give himself a few more days to find his form. It remains to be seen what sort of shape he's in after such a disruptive end to the 2016 season, but he's very keen to get this year off on the right foot. After 2 years racing on the American continental scene, Lachlan Morton will make his return to World Tour racing at the Tour Down Under. Morton fell out of love with cycling, but his time in the lower ranks has reignited his passion for the sport. A successful season with victories at the Tour of the Gila and the Tour of Utah earned him a contract with Dimension Data. The Tour Down Under will be an opportunity for Morton to settle back in on familiar territory, but he could also be a threat in the general classification. After a 7-year absence, Peter Sagan will return to the Tour Down Under in the colours of his new team, Bora Hansgrohe. Sagan's appearance is getting much more attention than it did back in 2010 due to his standing as a 2-time world champion. Race director Mike Turtur has already expressed his belief that Sagan could take home the overall title. Sagan hasn't raced since winning in Doha last October, and the Tour Down Under will be a chance to get a first win of his second term as the world champion. Gareth Thomas will be one of 2 potential GC contenders for Team Sky. The Welshman, who's making his 7th consecutive appearance at the race, will be joined by Colombian Sergio Henao. Both riders have finished on the podium in the past, with Henao taking 3rd last year. It's unclear how Thomas will approach the race and whether or not he will target the overall standings. He showed last year that he stepped up his stage racing abilities, so should he decide to go for it, then the win is a serious possibility.